is Chloe, and welcome to Meta Pool Mondays. I'm going to be using this time every Monday to share, mostly for myself, but also for my local community. So my local community would generally be somewhat in Canada. I'm director of a nonprofit called the Marma J Foundation. So I'm director of the Marma J Foundation. It's a nonprofit in Canada that aims to leverage Web3 tech for social good. I'm also director of a nonprofit in Antigua and Barbuda in the Caribbean, Back Inc. And that nonprofit aims to support youth tech entrepreneurs in the region. Yeah, so one of the purposes of this stream is, as I said, it's for me to learn as well, right? So the idea is I would like to continue educating myself on the Web3 space, on on the different ways that networks are being secured by their validators, for example. So by engaging with Meta Pool, so just to get, I'll move a little bit quicker here. One of the reasons in which we're going to do Meta Pool Mondays is because I'm a Meta Pool ambassador. So what that means as a Meta Pool ambassador, I try and educate myself and my local community. So again, Marma J Foundation in Canada, Back Inc. in Antigua, and educate them about the opportunities that Meta Pool offers, which I think is pretty interesting. So, so this is, I'm on the vote page currently. That's pretty interesting, like vote to earn. There's lots of to earn phrases in Web3 or in the crypto space, right? Play to earn, learn to earn. I used to love learn to earn. Coinbase, the whole learn to earn thing was awesome. But the idea here is you can vote to earn as well. So, but with Meta Pool, it is a multi-chain staking DAO. So, a lot of people that might engage with this content might not even know what staking really means. But generally, it means locking up assets for a certain period of time. And those assets are generally meant to help secure or power a network. It's almost, you can think of it almost as like, having, your dollars or your stocks, something you find valuable, being able to lock it somewhere to support some initiative, like maybe a Kickstarter or something like that. But with staking, you can generally withdraw your funds arguably whenever you want. Like, you have control of your assets, you can sign a transaction or, enforce an action that, withdraws your funds back to your account. So, they're locked up. So for example, Near generally has a 12-hour unlocking period. I think Solana has a couple days. Honestly, I am so out of touch. And this is part of the reason of why I want to be doing this, is that I would love to start reminding myself, of the information that's different across the ecosystem. For the past few years, I've been heavily dedicated to the Near ecosystem, which is awesome. I've had a great time engaging with Near. But I think it's important, not just for me, it's for the communities that I try and support, for me to be able to bring information back to them. So even if Near is the best chain out there, right? If I'm not saying that's the case, but if I'm a Near maxi or whatever, I think the idea is being able to educate yourself on the rest of the space and understand what makes Near potentially better in some ways, and maybe what makes Solana better in some ways, or the security of Ethereum, how does that differ? And then Aurora, that's kind of it's quite different in terms of what you're securing and how the tokens are used. And I honestly am not even sure what Q is. So over these streams, again, we're going to be learning together. I've been researching in this space for quite a while, but always more to learn. And so the dedication for me is that I want to make sure I'm learning for myself and just keeping myself up to date with the things that I care about. And one of the things that I really do care about is how the networks of the future, right, or the networks of now for many of us, how they're being secured, right? So if we're going to have privacy technology built on top of this on top of Near or Ethereum, right? How secure is it really? Right, so we're talking about our financial security. Like, can I put $1 million of assets on Ethereum and be able to feel secure about it? Potentially, because other people have billions of dollars on Ethereum and they're okay with that. But sometimes potentially it could be something potentially more valuable than money, like your privacy. And for some people around the world, their privacy could be worth their lives. And I know that's kind of the extreme of the use case, but in my opinion, you know, if you can support the most extreme, again, you feel safe having 1 million because someone has 1 billion. So if you can support the most extreme use case, then the average person should be able to feel secure as well. So if you can support private messaging for the most extreme, dangerous, the most secure communications, so like nuclear codes, for example, or government messaging, or military messaging. If you can secure that, and you let the average user use similar technology or the same technology, or maybe it's, again, in these decentralized networks, maybe everyone's using the same high level of privacy technology, then everyone should arguably feel relatively secure. If you're using the same encryption technology as like the U.S. military or whatever, potentially you'd probably feel relatively secure about that. So let's digress from a rant about my love of cryptography and keeping things secure. But that is kind of what led me to want to be a Meta Pool ambassador. The ability to educate myself, educate the communities that I support, and then hopefully be able to support Meta Pool as well. So I'll go from the beginning because, again, I'm honestly not sure what people would know along this series or understand, and I'm kind of doing this series as if people don't really know anything about Web3 or cryptography or blockchain, and they're potentially just interested in how they can engage in, again, some of these networks of the future, right? I think that the way the internet is currently running isn't necessarily very equitable for all. And so when I say like networks of the future, it sounds kind of weird, I guess. But the idea is just, is there a way where we can run this critical infrastructure in a way that's just, a little more equitable, and supporting a little more people would be awesome. So yeah, and I think there's many different aspects of that. One of them is finance, right? I think finance is one of the use cases of blockchain, or let's use the term blockchain. It's one of the use cases of blockchain that I think many people have, many people understand, right? Maybe 5, even like 2-3 years ago, people would be like, oh, what's this Bitcoin thing? I don't believe in this internet money. And I think a lot more people, to a certain degree, at least be like, okay, well, Bitcoin might make sense, It's just, a token, it doesn't really do much stuff. And I think these days that's kind of changed as well. As cryptography's advanced, you can do a lot of crazy things on these blockchains. But it all kind of starts arguably from being able to secure value. And so decentralized DeFi just means decentralized finance, and Ref Finance is a decentralized exchange. So decentralized just means it's run on the blockchain. They try and not have ways where things can be shut down by a single point of failure. So they try and use a DAO, a decentralized governance, decentralized autonomous organization. Wow, there's like so much of these random terms that are hilarious. That like, they're just like, who came up with them? They're funny. But a DAO just means that it was like a council of people that like are in a group and they vote to make decisions. So if one of those, so say there's 5 people on that council, and you decide on that council that 3 out of 5 people are needed to make a decision, then if one person got compromised, they wouldn't, the group wouldn't be at risk of losing funds or making a bad decision with this exchange. You would need multiple people to do that, and for better or worse, right? There's just costs, and there's benefits and negatives to centralized systems and decentralized systems, and nothing's truly decentralized. But anyways, on this decentralized exchange, the Marma J Foundation has most of its liquidity, and I won't stop at everything. I think hopefully I'll be doing this series for a while. I think it allows me to look into like Solana, like this series allows me to do Ethereum a bit more. So I'm excited about that, mainly because it allows me to look into different validators as well, and community grant initiatives, which just sounds like a fun time for a little bit. So in these pools, we have and this is kind of just talking about like securing value and how I've previously engaged with Meta Pool and the value there. So there's a token called ST-Near, and on Meta Pool, for example, you can earn 8.91% APY, right? So you're going to earn your an annualized average of what you would earn at the current rates. So this can change all the time. The near to dollar value can go up, can go down. But either way, we'll kind of digress from that. If you really care about finance, you can look these things up. These days, ChatGPT came out with a new update, and things are getting kind of wild. So have fun talking about that stuff with your AI in the future. But for now, we can kind of dig into this and see that when you deposit these tokens, you'll get ST-Near. So if I deposited 0.819, the minimum's 1. Lame sauce. 21819. Oh, it doesn't let me decimals. 2.1819. Okay, we're good. So either way, I'll get 1.68804 ST-Near. So to keep things really simple, one ST-Near used to be 1 near, and then every 12 hours, because validators are securing the network and getting rewards, basically you're getting those rewards, part of those rewards the validators would have gotten for delegating your near tokens to them in their stake. And so every 12 hours, this value is passed on to the ST-Near token. So instead of you having to go claim this reward every 12 hours, which can be time consuming or it can cost gas or whatever else, it's compounded directly by adding it just directly to the value of ST-Near. So over the past few years, this token has been around, and now the value of one ST-Near is 1.29256 near. And in 12 hours, in a certain amount of time, right? So delayed on stake, up to 6 days potentially. Wow. And so there's a lot of stuff I'll eventually kind of dig into. So you can, when I said previously that there's a time limit to withdraw your funds, that's if you don't want to pay a fee, right? So you can wait 6 days, withdraw your funds, no fees, enjoy the ecosystem, right? You'll pay gas fees, right? Because every transaction has some sort of cost. Although if you use the hot wallet, maybe you'll get gas fee transactions soon. Who knows? That's a little, tangent there. But you can do it fast, pay a little fee, and you can actually deposit into this fee. So I think it's liquidity. So for near, you can add liquidity to this fast on stake. You earn 0.07 APY. So you potentially might not. Nothing here is financial advice, by the way. I should have started with that. This is just for educational purposes, just to show people why this could be an interesting system to learn about, an interesting protocol to get engaged with. I'm actually of the mind that people should never purchase crypto tokens with their own finances, like their own money. They should probably just find ways to engage in the ecosystem, try and earn a little bit of crypto. There's many ways usually to engage, hopefully, and if there's not, there should be more. Because this is a risky technology, in my opinion, in general. And so, to me, it's not an investment unless you're investing in education. If you're educating yourself about, how these ecosystems could be interesting for you, enough to engage with, right? So, apparently, you can earn more. Ooh, is this just liquidity? I'm so confused. So instead of holding that is a whole different tangent. Okay, because so near doesn't make much sense, because near you'd earn sorry, this is a huge tangent, but I find it very interesting. So on near you'd earn 0.07% APY, and if you stake near, you'd earn 8.91. So the average individual, just mathematically, might decide not to do that. But if you want to stake Aurora, you earn 18.2. And you got to hold this ST Aurora. And then fast untake costs 2%. And then delayed unstake takes 4 days. But, okay, and maybe this is alpha. This is great though. You can add liquidity to Aurora. Right? And then you earn some of the fees. And then you probably don't have a delay, a fee on withdrawing. And it seems like you earn more. Okay, that's alpha. That is definitely alpha. Okay, that's hilarious. I love that. That is wonderful. Okay, that's great. I'm gonna move on now because I gotta capitalize on the alpha first. No one watches these streams, so we're good. That's hilarious. I love that because I shared the first alpha on Twitter, and then overnight it went down, like it was like a 10% gain, and it went down by half, so a 5%. It was hilarious. And then this one, I'm sure, is gonna change, right? Like, this is gonna be so fun. So right now, it's above, and we'll see what happens in like a week. Next Monday, I want to check this, and we'll see. But anyway, let's move on. So that's how it kind of works. So you take your near tokens, but the point was, Marma J, the token for the Marma J Foundation, the token we use to distribute for grant funding and just spreading social good and positivity, we pair it with ST Near. So that, I mean, arguably, right, if there's no activity at all on Marma J, if no one trades it, no one does anything with it, then Marma J should arguably go up, you know, a rough average, let's say, right, 4% a year. And so this will cause some trading fees, and the fees are very low, right? The fees are very low on these pools, but it'll cause some volume to be, to trade. Some days we get, $6,000 of volume. It'll earn a tiny little percent of APR. I find it hilarious. And this is not a DeFi education, but the fee you set your pools to greatly alters by a huge amount. It's hilarious. There's a fun one that was at 0.8. I think the Black Dragon pool. Where's that one? Yeah, this one. Right? This one only has $2,000 in it. Right? It only has $14 of volume. And the fee is 10 cents. That's pretty low. But this big one, it's done $72 of volume. So yay, so much volume. 11 cents. So you can see how $2,000 and 2.3 thousand can earn you 11 cents, or 92,000 can earn you 11 cents. And again, we do this purposely, just to incentivize bots to run and people to make these bots and engage with Web3 ecosystems. But arguably, you could just set the fee higher, and less trades will happen on the pair, but the fees will definitely increase, go up considerably. But we have a farm on this pool to incentivize the community to also join us on this terrible APR. But I think it's hilarious. This is why I call Marma J the first meme coin on Near, because this is a meme. Anyways, let's joke. But that's how ST Near works in DeFi. So it's a fun little meme way of showcasing it. But you can imagine, for example, having the Near token pegged with ST Near, or ST Near pegged with a stablecoin. And so maybe instead of, if you want to, some people want to, deposit Near and stablecoins into a decentralized exchange to earn fees on that. What you can also do is the stablecoin with the ST Near, and then potentially, even if Near goes down a little bit, the staking fees might help offset some of that loss. Again, none of this is financial advice. Again, I think it's just interesting how liquid staking tokens. So the idea of liquid staking token is just that you get this token to represent your stake, and it's liquid. You can move it around. It's not locked, because the whole issue with staking normally is that your funds are locked and you can't access them. So, for example, your NEAR is locked and you can't access it for 6 days is a long time, to access your assets. But the whole idea with these liquid staking tokens is that arguably you don't have to use any of these methods, because you can generally just go onto an exchange, right? And you can just say, okay, well, actually, I don't want to pay that fee. I have ST NEAR. Let me just swap back to NEAR here. And so, I mean, you could see if I want to swap 10,000 ST NEAR to NEAR, my rate, and there's like a minimum rate too. So, it's, anyways, your minimum received. Okay, that's a lot lower. I set it really high. My bad. Let's go to a normal one. Okay, so a minimum received is 12,894. Okay, and if you go to Meta Pool and you want to fast unstake, you will get. Oh, this isn't just for the stake. Sorry. Fast unstake, and you get 12.7. So the average person might just, come here to ref finance and withdraw quickly, because they'll get more than if they use this pool. That's probably why it's not very incentivized. Where the difference with Aurora is that there's not really a pool for ST Aurora. And so the only way to get out of ST Aurora is on Meta Pool. So again, sharing all the alpha here. Alpha leaks. Anyways, okay, so that is kind of how, like, the value proposition of Meta Pool a bit. Like, where it started was mostly with NEAR. It's branched off into Ethereum, Solana. I mean, there's all these. At some point, you kind of got to just go on the application yourself and kind of just look around. You do not have to log in to look around. You can just kind of look at all these pages and read them. And eventually on these Meta Pool Mondays, we'll read through all of these pages. But for now, I wanted to go a bit into this mpDAO token, because I find it kind of interesting. So currently I have mpDAO tokens on Ethereum, a few of them here. I have mpDAO tokens on NEAR as well, on a different account, like it's on my mobile. I don't have it logged in on this laptop. But you cannot yet vote on Ethereum, right, with mpDAO. And I want to learn a bit more about, like, how mpDAO, the token, is used, like, to vote on Ethereum stuff, like, or is it just like, is it just voting on MPIPs instead? It's very interesting. Is it mostly just voting on NEAR valid? Like, is Meta Pool DAO going to run a validator on Ethereum, for example? Is that something that could then be a benefit to Ethereum mpDAO holders? It all seems very interesting. And today I found out, very interesting. This is very much news to me. But mpDAO on Ethereum is a different token than mpDAO on NEAR. Because I was bridging the tokens, right? So I bought some this mpDAO on Ethereum. My goal was to just, test out bridging it to NEAR, because right now you can vote. Like, I've done no voting. Ooh, voting has a new look. Ooh, yeah, add voting power. This is what you can do. Very cool. Ooh, this is my rewards. Yeah, we're going to go through all of it. I mean, this is what the mpDAO thing is. The vote to earn. It is the voting token for the Meta Pool DAO. I have 0 voting power. So my thing was, if I've locked these up, I have to approve this on Ethereum, which has a high fee. So I already purchased these on Ethereum. And so if we could buy them on Uniswap on Ethereum, there's a whole guide for it, right? How to get mpDAO, Uniswap, the whole link and a whole guide in their documentation. So I generally just go to their application. I go to their docs down here, and I just go to the search bar and I type in Uni and then how to get mpDAO Uniswap comes up. So pretty straightforward. If you go to metapool.app and just go to the docs in the bottom left, sidebar, bottom right hand. But if I lock up my Meta Pool and I get 10 voting power, right? Then I can't move it. I have to pay for that, And then when I unlock, I have to pay an Ethereum fee, and it's a lot of Ethereum gas fees. And to be perfectly honest, I don't really believe in Ethereum gas fees for the average user. I don't think human beings, I think bots should be paying Ethereum gas fees. AIs should be paying Ethereum gas fees, right? When you submit the final proof, when all the AIs get together and submit their final proof, it should probably just eventually be a hash on Bitcoin too. Let's do it. I'm all for chain abstraction. I'm all for using these chains together. But the average person on the daily basis should be able to engage daily with these applications, in my opinion, and that requires a low transaction fee. Bots also require low transaction fees for many things, and AIs do as well. But there's different use cases for different chains, and I personally believe that I always, I've used Meta Pool for a long time with the old token Meta, and whenever I lock up, I always go 300 days for all my positions. But I could also see someone else creating 30 different positions and locking up for 30 days each, right? And then just literally going on every day, once a day at the same time, and just unbonding and trading their tokens as well. So is the token higher than it was, when I bought and unlocked this amount? Yes or no, sell, don't sell. I mean, there's a lot of strategies you can use that for, but that's just not really that viable on Ethereum, where you have to pay a lot, in my opinion, a few dollars is a large fee to be able to withdraw in 30 days, right? So it just kind of pushes the user to push 300 days, which is fine. But I think that people, should have the options. If someone cares more about governance like I do, I just go 300 days. I want that voting power. I want to be able to, engage with this ecosystem. Some other people might say, you know what, I'm okay not earning as much in the future. I want to make sure that in 30 days, I can, maybe they bought a lot, or they have a lot of mpDAO tokens. Maybe you have, consider to that person, they have a considerable size of their portfolio in mpDAO, and they want to make sure that it's not about what they're going to get over the year. 72%, that sounds great, but they want to make sure that, if mpDAO is dumping, they want to really get their funds back. In my opinion, I don't really care about that. I have zero care in the world if mpDAO goes to zero, as long as these blockchains are still running and we can still use the token to vote on which validators are funded and which community groups are getting funding for their initiatives. I'm all about it, and I think I'm the most bullish as I could ever be on mpDAO token. I'm a bit confused sometimes on things that are going on. Again, that's why I'm an ambassador. Doesn't mean that I shill everything about it. It just means that I want to learn more and I want to share more, and hopefully I can learn more with the community. Again, mostly near Antigua community, but Marmor J as well, of course. Anyways, so let's say I wanted to just do 2 and approve it. I'm assuming it would be a nice MetaMask transaction, and it does not show up on the stream, sadly, but I'll probably have to unlock my wallet. The fee is 48 cents to approve. Not crazy, right? That's not the craziest thing in the world, but that is 50 transactions on Near, right? And so if someone just moved a large amount over to Near once, it might cost them. I think it's only I'm gonna try it just for fun if it works. But I think it's only $10, 15. But if over the lifetime of use, if someone's really going to engage in the ecosystem for years, which I hope if people find value that they do, that does add up, right? The 50 cents each time, just for an approval, right? But that's not for adding the actual voting power. You have to approve first, then you have to sign a transaction, which is a few dollars, to transfer the tokens. Generally, that's how it works. I mean, I haven't done it, and I'll probably do it once. Not right now. I don't have my ledger in right now. I'll do it once just for like a Meta Pool Monday. But I don't really necessarily think that the communities I represent generally, which is usually either third world countries generally. I mean, the term is kind of weird, but whatever. And then generally marginalized communities, like unhoused people and like migrants and all of that. So getting them a wallet on Near is free. Can drop them, $1 worth of Near generally. I mean, these days, you need 0.25 Near to do anything, and so that's kind of going up, I guess. So a few dollars of Near. But with the few dollars of Near, they can interact with something like Meta Pool for quite a while. And so, actually, a tangent a little bit, but one of the ways I think one of the projects I want to see, I guess, built out would be a way to delegate your mpDAO tokens, right? Because you could see here your reward. So let's say I delegated someone 1,000 mpDAO. So I still kept the value. I'm the one who's locking it up for 300 days. For 300 days. That means that monthly. Let's use monthly. The person, whoever's getting it would get $2.26 a month. Now, I know it's not an insane amount of money, but the idea that you could not really give someone 40, but delegate 40, and then they could, and it's not a lot, but like they could still get like a coffee once a month, which is not that much, but they can, if they engage with the ecosystem, they can get those rewards. And I think that there's certain populations that might be a reasonable reason to engage. And I know that, again, to me, it's all about education and ensuring that everyone has an opportunity and no one gets left behind in any ecosystem or community. But as I said, there's many ways to get engaged. So this is the more financial way. Arguably, how to get mpDAO. There's no contribute to our ecosystem by cleaning up your local beach and sharing a picture on social, tagging mpDAO, and you'll have a chance at winning 100 mpDAO. We pick 100 winners every month, right? So that would be, in my opinion, a more efficient tab here, right? How to get mpDAO financial, like Uniswap, Ref Finance, all that fun stuff, and then how to get mpDAO like community contributions. Because in my opinion, again, the number one way to get crypto tokens should be contributing to that ecosystem in a valuable way. And in my opinion, if people can get educated about the ecosystem, then there's many ways to contribute. And so I like ecosystems where contribution requires just engagement and educating yourself. So this is kind of vote to earn, again, the more financial aspect. But then there's grants where, communities submit their grants. That was the voting round 2. You can see, Marmer J ST Near. So we added some farm rewards for Meta. Again, I've always felt that educating the community on how they can engage with government was important. That pool is still around somewhere, locked up in Ref. And then we used some funding for getting some articles created about Meta Pool as well. I think it'd be great to kind of get more of those articles created because Meta Pool has changed quite a bit recently, but that's what Meta Pool Mondays are for, to kind of dig into what those changes are. So these are kind of the old funding rounds from 2013 and then 2014, February, and now we're moving into the June funding round for 2014, which is going to be bigger than ever, it seems. But the idea here is that people were voting not just on financial things. I mean, there's not really financial votes. I mean, validators arguably is financial voting, but people are voting on community initiatives. So people are voting on initiatives around the world. So this is a Meta Pool Vietnam, Amazon Web Services workshop, staking event. Oh my, lots of applications. November, research. They want to do a deep dive research and analytics dashboard. This is a partnership to educate, liquid staking as a financial tool. Yeah, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, this is what I want to focus on. I am very, very, very excited for the June round that's coming up. And I'm pumped to kind of dig more into each of the communities and use Meta Pool Mondays to dig into each of these kind of applications a little bit more. So yes, you can see a proposal, representative, some documents, but come on, we can dig into this person, and I'm going to dig in. We can dig into them on Pikes Peak, see what they're involved with in the documents. We can check out their campaign, see what people are doing, their proposal. Hopefully there's some social links on some of these things that we can dig into, what they're doing, and try and see some retrospectives. And so maybe I'll even have some fun going back to some of these old ones. But honestly, I usually like sticking to like the future, what's happening in the moment. And so that's why I love kind of streaming, just using live websites, because this is what people are going to have to engage with if they ever go to metapool.app and they ever engage themselves. So yeah, that's the governance coming out in June. I'll be going over that more in future Meta Pool Mondays, God's willing. There's also validators that you can vote on. So people that I know run some validators, and so sometimes I vote for them. I can't remember who I voted for on. Maybe I'll check just for fun. Oh, Near Week. Yeah. Near Week. I remember when I was working for Near Foundation, I got on a call with Peter from Near Week, and I explained to him my whole pitch. I was like, you build on Near, you get some funding for a validator, you run that validator, you run your project well, you run it all with a DAO, you run it all with Near tokens, and you just build out. And literally Near Week is like doing its thing, growing, so I love it. I love the whole thing. So yeah, I'm probably going to delegate all my validator rewards, for now at least. CryptoGaric does some gaming stuff, and I used to delegate some there. But I would like to also dig into more of these, especially the ones that have the most votes. So if we do it by votes, other way around. And I would love to, I want about the pool, what do they support? Anyways, I would love to see this nice empty white space, in my opinion, could be used for information about the validator, whatever's available. I just wonder where people have these dashboards now. Actually, let me just assume NearBlocks has the information. Because NearBlocks does have a lot of information. Okay, so you get location on the blockchain recorded, and you get some social media. So this is some of these validators do put on the blockchain some of this information, and so this information should at least be on Meta Pool, in my opinion, and that gives people a way. And maybe some of them are like, no. So I know for a fact Stardust has information up. So yeah, the information isn't here from what I can see. So that would be a benefit I think could be added, because it would help me to know who to vote for. Like, how do I know if I should vote for this person without being able to get some education here in the UI? And the easiest step would, again, just be pull the information directly from here. So this one has like a website, right, for what they do. You can delegate, you can claim the NFT for voting, check the lockup of the account, whatever. You can go to this one, check their Twitter account, Astro Stakers, and you can see, okay, these largest validators, who are they? But anyways, the information is here. So yeah, information to look through on nearblocks.io as well. But in my opinion, it would be great if all the information was on Meta Pool, and Meta Pool can be like the one spot everyone can kind of come to and get information about validators on if they're going to be voting on near, then that's the information that you'll be able to have, hopefully. There's also just straight up governance proposals directly for the Meta Pool DAO. And so by having Meta Pool DAO, mpDAO tokens, you're able to, currently, I guess, only on the near ecosystem. Anyways, so you can see how there's been some proposals. Some have succeeded, some have been rejected, but you can kind of see the type of proposals that are there. So you can create a proposal, and I think you need a certain amount of voting power to do so. I'm pretty sure. Proposal threshold is 200,000. So you need 200,000 voting power to create a proposal, which honestly is not that much. Like, actually, now I want to show that because that's hilarious. Not hilarious. That's not the appropriate word. Okay, I guess that is a considerable sum. 7,500. Okay, that's a considerable amount. It does seem like a reasonable barrier though. Okay, yeah, I thought it was a bit lower. But like, I think every ecosystem has their like node price, and I feel like that. But governance has created that to be like the mpDAO node price of being like, I want to be able to submit proposals, so I want to eventually have 200,000. Well, it's only voting power. Sorry, see, that's what I meant. Silly me. I was getting confused. It's not that much mpDAO because it's only that low if you lock up for 30 days, right? So you get half. That's what, But if you do 300 days, you get 5x that amount. So it's actually what? So yeah, that's okay. That's more okay. So 2,000. Wait. There you go. Hey, even lower. 1,500 US, and that would be enough if you locked up for if you were in. And I mean, I'm assuming most people would only be involved in. But again, that and that's the 30 days is so obviously you're not able to just lock up for 2 minutes, put a proposal in to like drain the ecosystem, vote on it, pass it. Like, I don't know, like you don't want people doing that kind of stuff. So 30 days to get voting power is just to streamline the governance process. Less malicious actions can happen. But yeah, so that's a lot. Let's drop that down. Let's put the actual number in. 40,000 mpDAO tokens. Isn't this yearly? Where's the other dashboard? Is it only on Ethereum? Are there different dashboards on different pages? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this dashboard is different on my votes. So vote dashboard has this. My votes dashboard has this. Very interesting. And again, sorry, I go on tangents because like if I'm ever doing a live workshop for people, now I know to come to my votes. Because annually is not helpful for me at all. In my opinion, things change in crypto way too quickly. I know you're locked up for that long, but it doesn't matter. Generally, people might have multiple positions. Like, you might have a position open every month for 300 days each, and so you're still managing your positions once a month for many people, potentially. I don't know. NFA. But you get 9.5 ST near a month at the current reward. I already talked about liquidity. Lockups a little bit different. I guess if you have a lockup account, which is very different than there's a little dashboard. I'll probably try and use like this UI, like this. Try and log in everywhere. Maybe I'll try and get some ambassador rewards and do my ambassador duties, and then I'll swap those somehow to Solana for a Meta Pool Monday. That's how I'll probably get some Solana tokens. Anyways, I now have a Solana account on my MetaMask, which I could put some stuff into and start using Meta Pool with. Oh gosh, this is cool. Why does Solana with Meta Pool work so much better sorry, why does MetaMask with Solana work so much better, so far at least, than MetaMask with Ethereum? Like, that was actually seamless. M-Sol. Get it. How do I get this? I deposit Sol. I don't have any Sol. So I need to get some Solana. And then Q. I have no clue what Q is. No clue what Q is. Wait, I went to Q. So maybe Q's not live. Doesn't show anything about Q. So I guess Q will stay off of Meta Pool Mondays. Yeah? Hey, baby. Hey. Maybe Mika will come say hi for Meta Pool Mondays. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, that's about it. I'm going to hop off the stream about now. I think that was a pretty good overview of what Meta Pool's all about. Next Monday, I hope to go a bit more over the Rainbow Bridge, Near, if it was even worth it to move those tokens over. And yeah, just get a bit more into... I might dig into some of the old initiatives in the grants program and see like what was funded, how it worked, and as well some of the like the history of the governance, like how it works, and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll probably go into governance and community initiatives next week, God's willing. So bye everyone. See y'all next time.